Hello and welcome. Today I'm adding Murtop from the Indie Heroes Collection 4 to my ever-growing list where I rank every Evercade game ever. Murtop is a modern indie game that is inspired by two specific early arcade games. It's Dig Dug meets Bomberman, where you control Murty, a rabbit who shits out explosive turds. It runs natively on the arcade, but the design sensibility is pure early 1980s arcade unit.
Gameplay.
I've pretty much already described it. Dig Dug meets Bomberman. It's a single screen old school arcade game where you control Murty, a rabbit, and you have to eliminate all the enemies on the screen to progress to the next level. After every 5 levels there's a bonus stage where you're catching carrots falling from the sky and dodging rocks. And in the main levels rocks play a part too. Because Murty is digging through the ground, it's very Dig Dug in that, and you can drop rocks on enemies' heads. Again, very Dig Dug. And of course you can be crushed by the rocks if you're daft enough to stay in place or fall into the range of their descent. Your explosive turds are the Bomberman element. Unlike Bomberman, there's no powering them up or increasing the range. They have a pretty much set range and you want to get out of the way quick, because death by your own shit is entirely a thing in this game. The enemies will be wandering around passively within the tunnels already created in the level, but as you burrow through the ground and create more tunnels they will wander through those, or some of them will. When they become aware of you their behaviour changes. Some will chase you, some will throw small rocks, and so on and so forth. Anyway, it is a score chaser through and through. Multiple kills with one explosion will get you bonus multipliers. Killing enemies with rocks will score you more points. Completing a level within 15 seconds will get you a nice bonus. So learning to do a level quickly and chaining together kills to get the maximum score is, well, that's something you're going to learn to do fairly quickly. There are a total of 256 levels in the game, and you're not likely to see them on modern credits, because being inspired by an old school arcade game, it plays like one, requiring you to add a credit before you play. Continuing will reset your score naturally, so you can credit feed your way through to see all 256 levels, but I don't recommend it. It does get a bit tedious after a while. That might sound like a negative, but that's not what this game is about. It is a score chaser. Playing for a single credit and getting as far as you can and as high a score as you can, well, that is the game.
Graphics.
Murtop looks like its inspiration. Particularly Dig Dug, there's not that much Bomberman about it. But what I mean is it looks like an old school arcade game, predominantly a black background, simple small sprites, and not a huge amount of environmental changing or differences between levels. And that's absolutely fine. It is a good looking modern interpretation of the early arcade game experience. What I say experience, the look, that's what I mean.
Sound and music.
And just like the graphics, the sound is very much like its inspiration. Beeps and explosions, they are more modern sounding and more, I suppose, a bit more refined, a bit more advanced sounding than the things that inspired it, but they lead into that sound and it works perfectly. The music is really catchy and suits the arcade action, really encouraging you to get a wiggle on rather than hang around and take your time.
Overall opinion.
Murtop successfully succeeds in doing exactly what it intends. Being a modern take on the early arcade game, it does it very well. I can't fault it on that in any shape or form. It also means that it's quite a simple game. It does have a good scoring mechanism that will keep some people coming back again and again trying to get a high score. The QR code based online high score table is a really nice touch. The only real criticisms I can level at it, and these are minor, are that one, it becomes a little bit repetitive, especially with 256 levels, and the later levels just become quite uninteresting. And the reason I say that's minor is because it's just not really a factor given the nature of the game. It's a more short burst score chaser type game. Having all these levels is a nice touch for people that master it, or for those who just want to see everything and coin feed their way through, but it's largely unnecessary content. Imagine that 90% of players will never see, and they won't be missing much, and that is absolutely fine. It is quite simply a very good modern take on your old school arcade experience.
Ranking.
Placing Murtop on my ever-growing list where I rank every Evercade game ever, I've elected to put it above the Super Nintendo version of Earth Defense Force, but below Gods, placing it at 107 out of 488 games that I've ranked so far. Anyway, that's enough about Murtop, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.